Good morning, this is Ron Brown. I'm doing this on Tuesday, July 7th, and I'm doing it at 9:18, which means the market's been open about 45 minutes. Now, I want to thank Dr. Jeffrey Scott, for putting all the effort in over the 4th of July weekend to bring us live webinars, or at least the first one. And I have watched part of the third video, but not the second. I just haven't had time, but I will get to those. I did notice in the third video, the part that I had a chance to watch, he did discuss box stocks. Now I'm going to show you some things that he may not have discussed in his video. By now, after watching Jeffrey's presentations, you should know what box stocks are. But for members of my Insider Club, what I'm going to do is I'm going to send out this PDF, which I created. I just took it out of the help file, so you can go in and grab this yourself. But the high HGS box calculations were done by Ian, and unfortunately Ian's been gone now for several years. I think it's a little over 4 years now, but he left us with a legacy of his work, and one of the things that he left was the HGS boxes calculation. Now Matt and George have incorporated it into HGSI. If you want a reference of what each of these boxes are, it's in the help file, or like I said, I'm going to send a link out to the Insider Club so they can just have this and print it out for themselves. I'll get this out of the way. Now, I don't know if Jeffrey, I didn't see it anyway, I do not know if he got to the SmartGroup portion, but several years ago, I think it was back in 2014, but I'm not sure of that, we did a seminar, and the emphasis was on box stocks. And at that time, George I asked him if he would make a smart group of just box stocks, which would be constantly updated, or updated every day when you'd run the HGSI update. And what he did for us was he put all of the box stocks in a single folder. Now, if I take this filter off, you're going to see that there's a lot of box stocks in here. There are 442 today, which meet the box stock criteria. Now, I'm updating in the background, so the prices are current, so there will be times when it may be a little bit slow when it's recalculating. So this is the list, or these are the indexes of all of these subgroups. And back then, I gave George a list of box stock categories, I guess is a good way to say this, that asked him if he would make smart groups, and you can see that he did that for me, or for us. So this, if you go into consistent earnings growth, the top level is the indexes. If you go down one folder, you're going to get all of the box stocks. If you go down to the other folders, you're going to get box stocks based upon these various criteria. So here's an 8585. This is best criteria. You can see that there are no best criteria box stocks right now. This was a class exercise many years ago at one of the seminars where we came up with the best criteria, and it's very stringent. Here's the ERG 240. You can see 168. These are the growth stocks, 100. High profit margin box stocks, 52. LLUR box stocks, 6, and so on. Here's even a list of box stocks, or a group of box stocks that trade or yield 2% and above, and here are the box 7 box stocks are turnaround stocks. So these groups are essentially pre-screened for us. If you're just interested in box 7 stocks, this is where you can come, and then you can start applying other scans against this group. But what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to take these indexes. I'm going to click through to the ranking module. And what do I have this set on? I have it set on 4 weeks, and you can see that the 85 box stocks have produced about a little over 18.5% over those 4 weeks. And if I change to the index group, it's going to show me which of these box stocks have produced the most and the percentage change over 4 weeks. Now, 4 weeks is arbitrary. If you're more interested in 1 week or what's happening this week, just change this to a 1, and it's going to show that a stock, TIGR, FinTech Holdings, ADR, is up 29.34%. And I'll just click on this and bring it up down here in my charts. And you can see that this gapped up, and it looks like it's going or trying to go again today. Here's the weekly chart here, and the weekly chart is certainly trending. I do not know a thing about this ADR, but you can see that the earnings growth, if you look at this line right here, is very strong. Now, we know this is an 85 stock, and we know it's a box stock, but I don't know which box it belongs in. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take this chart, I'm going to edit the indicator, which is the warehouse field, and I'm going to type in HGS boxes. Click on that and move it over that column. And now we can see what the boxes are. This is a box 1 stock, and it's something I've never heard of before. You can see that it had a big move yesterday. It gap lower today, but there are buyers coming into it now. So it may be worth putting in your watch list, or maybe even doing a trade. Let's look at some particulars on it. EPS 99, RS 94, Group 63. The 50-day average volume is 626,892. If I click on this, it tells me that there are 132 million shares out. Institutions really don't own any of it. There is a positive PE, which you don't see on a lot of stocks today. So anyway, the slope of the earnings and the revenue are both going up. This is under wealth management financials. It certainly may be worth putting in a watch list. I'm going to go back to my ranking module. I'll locate it down here. And I'll just click through to the warehouse. Now you can see that I'm in a view called Most Active Up, intraday $5. If I apply the filter, let's see if anything comes through. You can see that Ecom and Tesla are the most active up. Okay, let's take a look at these. I just happened to buy Ecom this morning. When I was going through this, I took a good look at it. Look at this earnings growth here. If you look at this, the red represents the revenue and the blue represents the earnings. So it's kind of all over the place, and the current quarter estimates are down, but it is in an uptrend, as you can see. I'm using my number 9 chart here. You can see that the 3 is above the 6, and the 3-day or 3DEMA, I like to call it, is really a surrogate for the stock price, because this stock, even though it kind of jumps all over the place, the 3 smooths it out enough where I can consider it kind of a surrogate price. Now, ideally, the place to buy this stock would have been back here at this low pivot, which would have been confirmed on this day, and then it hesitated for a few days, stayed above the 18, and then the 3 went above the 6. It stayed above it, kind of hard to see, but it did, and it has been moving up, and the fan has been widening, and the group has been going up also. So I bought this a little while ago. I'm not making any money. I'm down $3.75, but we'll see what happens. It's got everything I want. The 18's above the 50. The 6 is above the 18, of course, and the volume point of control is in the hands of the bulls right now, and you can see that it is well above the 3-day moving average. So I'm going to go back to the ranking module here. I'm actually going to get rid of the ranking module. What I want to do is I'm going to choose the group, and that group is going to be, I'm just going to go back to the consistent earnings growth, and I'm going to go up and use under Ron Brown number 3. I'm going to go to number 3, and actually I need to go up one more level, and this way I can see the advancing declining issues. But this was from the end of day, so let's go in to the designer, and I'll show you how you can update these groups during the day if you want to. Now you can't go in here, click on consistent earnings growth, and go to tools and rebuild the indexes, because nothing happens, because these are SmartGroups, which are updated at the end of the day. So what you have to do is grab this, take it down to user groups, and I'm just going to say yes, go ahead and generate them. But then I'm going to go to group subfolders index option, and you're going to see that there are no indexes for this group. I want to use the global settings for the group's index. And I'll just click on that. And now when I go back to the warehouse, I can see what groups, it indexed the groups when I dragged it down to the user groups, and this is the way, or this is what the groups look like for the box stocks at 9:49 in the morning. You can see that these are box stocks moving up, and you can see there are 58 advancers, 35 decliners, and so on, and this is the percentage price change over here. If I click on that, there's only 5 stocks in here, but this group is up 2.6% right now. The 85-85 group, which is 32 and 23, advancers over decliners, is here. If I click on this again, this is stocks and groups moving up. 58 advancers, 35 decliners. I'm going to change to this group, and then I'm just going to go down here and click on the stocks intraday top down from indexes, and it's going to sort when I am on raw combo and show me the stocks that are doing best out of the stocks and groups moving up. This is the group from yesterday, but you can see that Ecom, the stock that I bought, is at the top of the list. I didn't get it initially, so I'm slightly positive, but anyway, it's doing quite well. Now, Jeffrey showed you all the tricks of creating slices and groups and so on. I'm not going to do that in this video. He showed you how. I may do a webinar here. I don't think I'll have time this week, but next week, and we'll do more of the box stock approach to looking for good candidates. What I do want to show you before I leave here is I'm going to choose my group, and I'm going to go up to the top one, which is all of the box stocks. I'll click on that. You can see there are 434, and I just want to show you that if you want to limit your scanning to box stocks, this is the way to do it. Just go to this group, and you don't have to drag it down here like I did. You can work up here under Woodward and Brown. Just go to the top folder here and click on that, and you have the 434. And I'm going to clean up my screen a little bit here, and then you can apply other scans. I'm going to go to user views, and I'm going to go to market open. Let's just see out of these box stocks if any of these stocks are leaders up intraday on volume, and you can see that they are. Regeneron is at the top of the list using my effort versus result combo. It's up 22.06% today. If I click on it and bring the charts up, it's a very expensive stock, but you can see that it's moved up. It's a box 6 stock. If I go up to my number 1 chart, I can get the statistics for the day. You can see that I also added boxes to here, but volume's running well ahead of normal. It is at nearly 91% of its daily range. And I think I spoke up here. Intraday, it's a 1-day percentage price is $3.52. It's up $22.06. What else do we have in here? Go Liberty. Here's Court, which has been a disappointing stock. It is a box 2 stock. It really hasn't done anything. I was in it here, started to move, it failed. I got out. I may get back into it, but this is one of those stocks that has really good earnings and revenue growth, but it really doesn't do much. It has nearly doubled from the low down here, but recently it has not done much. Here's Facebook. Let's take a look at Facebook. Got hammered last week when advertisers started pulling their ads, but it quickly recovered. This turned out to be a great buying opportunity. So that's the leaders up on volume. Let's run through a few of these. I'm going to see if there are any leaders down on volume in this group, and there are. Here's Workhorse, which has had a tremendous run, to say the least. It gapped down. Now you can see the buyers are stepping up into it. It's got a low volume test. Low volume is relative. This is where the volume is right now, but this is the projected volume. So anybody that held this overnight and bailed out this morning, they're feeling bad now, especially if they bailed out down here. But this is one of the leaders that's down for the day, and percentage price change 1 day, it's down 15.8%. And these are some of the others. Now these that are leaders, then they're leaders because the fan is up for these stocks. That's part of my my formula. So this one's down. You just run through these and you look for stocks that have pulled back, and you can see there's another low volume test here. So this is actually, even though it's down for the day, it looks like it's setting up nicely. The weekly has been strong through here. It became very loose, but it's setting up again. Let's see what it looks like on a number 9 chart. Well, what do we have here? We have a low volume, or we have a pivot low. Now, I'm going to make this full screen. I'm going to hit alternate 1. If it takes out the high of this bar right here, that would be a confirmed pivot. It's probably not a bad trade right now just to go in and take this and use today's low as a stop. But if I look back, if I look to the left, which everybody should, this stock really has done nothing for quite some time now. This low volume pivot was good. This one failed, actually. This one has been good for a few points, and now it's setting up again. But if I go to chart number 3, which is support and resistance, and you can see that there is lots of resistance in here, and if these trend lines were extended, there's more resistance back here. So not a real great setup in looking at multiple charts, and that's what you really need to do. Now let's look at a couple of other things here. I'm going to go to the most active, $5 and up, and you can see that Channel Advisor comes up again, Ecom, Nautilus Group, which has been really good. Should have taken it yesterday and didn't. And I'm still on my number 3 chart, but you can see there's an effort to rise and a follow through today. Look at the earnings growth on here, the percentages. Sporting goods. Revenue was up last quarter compared to the same quarter 1 year ago, but this is a good looking chart on the weekly. And let's go to the number 9 chart here. You can see that it's a box 7. It's a turnaround stock, and it's above the 3-day exponential moving average. This is a stock I should be in. Yesterday I hesitated, and today I'm reluctant to chase it. Okay, now Tesla's in here. Tesla had another run up this morning, and then it reversed itself, and now buyers are coming into it. You really need to be looking at this in a short-term chart. Let me see if I can do that. Quick chart. I mean, this is a crazy, crazy stock. You can see the pre-market here. It went all the way up to 1429. The 1429 area started selling off, and then buyers started coming into it again right here down at 1363, currently trading at 1387. It's become a real day trading vehicle. A lot of money made and lost in this stock. That it's just out of reach for most people, but there is so much speculation now that it's being traded constantly. Okay, let's get out of here. Let's do a few more things. So let's see how my Ecom is doing. And it looks like it's, I'll put it in here too. Okay, it's doing very well. You can see that it's looks like it's out to a new high here. How does it look on the weekly? It looks like it's out to a new high there. How about the monthly? Nope, got a long way to go for a new high on the monthly. I did the alternate M key. If I go back to the alternate weekly, but look at this move up. Look at these green bars, and there was a 1-bar reversal, 2-bar reversal, and then it took off again. Now this is a box 4 stock. Let's go in. Let's look at number 1. You can see the box 4 again. Volume is running well above normal on this stock. Looks like it pulled back just a little bit, but it is, what's it up today? It's up 5.19. I got it in here somewhere. I'm ahead on it, but I'm not realizing the full daily profit is what I'm trying to say. But now I could go through a lot of these, and I'm not going to, because I don't want this video to get extremely long, but I'm just saying that on the market open, let's go into the bullish gaps, see which stocks gapped up 2%. You can see Tesla did, TBIO did, Euronav, Great Lakes. That's a stock I haven't seen for a while. And let's look at the percentage price change. Only Tesla is up out of this. These all gapped up 2%, a minimum. Here's your gap right here. But you have to be careful of these gaps. Let's just look at Cohen. This, for some reason, is a box stock. It's a turnaround stock that was starting to go. Wow, look at these numbers. Banks, financials, Don't know what happened to it, but obviously after this big move up here on the weekly, there must have been some bad news. But we aren't going to spend any time on that. Let's look at GLDD. This is another one I've played in the past. Just too inconsistent here on the weekly charts. So you have to go in and look at these charts, make a determination. Now, these are just intraday. Okay, let's get away from some of these. Let's go to one of my favorite views, and it's just here under the number 2 folder, scorecard stocks intraday, and I can click on that, and you can see I have all 434 now. If I want to go up one folder to number 1, these are the stocks that are box stocks that are up today. You can see it says stocks and groups up intraday today, and that cuts it down to 201. So if you only want to look at stocks that are up, but if you prefer to look for all of them, in fact, including stocks that may be down slightly but are coming back, this is the place to go. So what do we have here? Let's just take a look. I'm using my effort versus result combo. NAND, NH, Regeneron, ArcBest, Facebook, LG Homes. That was in my watch list today. Vertex, here's the Ecom again. Let me just minimize this. And let's take a look at NH. And you can see that this is an inexpensive stock, but it's a box stock. It's a box 9 stock. Application here is a low volume test, a confirmation of that. Effort to rise. Effort to rise. This is a reversal day. One bar reversals mean nothing, and it's moving up. Let's look at it with chart number 9. Make it full screen. You can see it's trading well above the 3. The fan is in place. 3 above the 6, 6 above the 18, 18 above the 50. VPOC, the bulls are in control. If I put a crosshair on here, you can see the bulls gain control right here. And that's the same time it looks like that the 3 crossed the 6. Let's take a look at the growth again. This one looks good. As of right now, let's go to number 1. Volume compared to the 50 and the 90 is stronger today. Certainly worth looking at here, and maybe even taking a trade. What's the average volume? 742, 932. So, it's fairly active. Back down. I'm sorry, wrong thing. Let's go back down, and wrong thing again. Boy, I'll do it this way. And then go down to number 9. Let's see. Yeah, the group is 89. The ERG is 258 on this. It looks good. It's extended a little bit. Let's take a look at that weekly chart. Wow, are we out to? Let's look at the monthly. Wow, you can see where it's been on the monthly. But it looks good. It's extended, a little bit extended right now. And you can really see this if you look at, I'm going to bring this over from another monitor. You can see that it's had a really nice run. Here's the test. Here's your efforts to rise. It's extended right now, so I'm tempted to take it, but I think I'll pass. Look at this market. Here the comp is up another 74 today. I mean, at some point we have to have a pullback. We're just not getting it yet. Okay, I'm going to finish this video by doing something. Jeffrey showed you this, I believe, in his video. If you click on the slices, if you want to click on custom slicing options, you can see that I have already loaded the HGS box stocks. If you haven't loaded it, you click on that, and in the user folder you will find the HGS box stocks breakdown. They're in here somewhere. Did I number it? Clear down here at number 18. If you open that, you're going to get this, and you say OK, and this shows how the box stocks are broken out of the 434. Now, this is nice to know, but I think it's much more powerful to not just look at this, because that doesn't give us a lot of information. I think it makes a lot more sense just to go in and search for industry, click on industry, and see a breakdown of the industries of the box stocks. And I'm going to make slices. I'm going to click on this. You can put a date on these if you want to. I'll go ahead and date them. Click on this. And then I'll go down to my user groups. Here's the industries right here. I'm going to click on that. Now I have to go to a screen that lets me see what's here. So I'm going to go back up to Ron Brown, folder number 3, view number 3, sort on raw combo, and this shows me that the precious metals are, it's one of the groups to be today: specialty pharma, home builders, infrastructure. Let's go ahead and look at the precious metals. Change to that group. You can see in my views I have done a stocks intraday just to make it easy to find, and sorting on raw combo with the effort versus result combo, it shows me what these stocks have done. And you can see that the one-day changes on some of these stocks really good. There has been strength in this group because of the fiscal policies and so on. People, traders, are looking for a place to go hide some of their money, and these stocks have been doing well recently. In fact, let's just go to the ranking module and let's look at the last 4 weeks. And you can see that Eldorado's up 23%, Kinross up 20%, Wheaton up 18%, and so on. They're all positive over the last 4 weeks. So money has been flowing into this group, and it's at the top of the list today. That's it. I'm going to end this right here. I have shown you quite a bit, and Jeffrey showed you quite a bit. So box stocks are a good place to look for prospects, and I'll continue to talk about these going forward. This is something that Ian came up with, Ian and his Saturday group at the library in Palos Verdes, and this has stood the test of time. Thank you for listening. Have a good trading week. The market's starting to back off a little bit now, so maybe we'll get a pullback one of these days. Thank you for listening.